Union Standard and Union Confectionery is the world's largest supplier of used and reconditioned as well as new equipment in the processing and packaging fields.
Particularly with confectionery, food, and pharmaceutical equipment. We put our customers first. Once I can get into a factory and see what my customers do and the types of machinery they have, that better helps me when they call looking for a machine, because I'll have an idea of the kind of machine they want. It's the ability to grow other people's business with our knowledge.
Union Standard is certainly the best company today in America to help you for that process.
Honesty and integrity, and it is because of those two principles that we're here now, 4 generations later, celebrating our 100th anniversary. The company started as Union Confectionery.
We're a 4-generation family-owned business 100 years ago in 1912. My great-grandfather, Abraham Greenberg, was a candy jobber in the streets of Lower Manhattan.
He started to go around with a horse and carriage and pick up candy and deliver it to the candy stores, and that was his business.
In doing that, he would go from, say, one candy maker to another to buy his inventory. And somebody would say to him, well, you know, I have a machine I'd like to sell. When you go around to these other companies, maybe you can sell it for me.
There started Union Standard Equipment, and from there went through a 2nd generation.
And Abe had 4 sons who came into the business. It was Joe was the eldest, then Herman, then Sam, and the youngest was Sidney.
During the 1930s, they expanded the business by buying a major competitor of new machinery from Springfield, Massachusetts, known as National Equipment Corporation.
Then came the 3rd generation, which is myself.
My father, Arthur, his brother Bob, my father's cousin Richard, and his brother Charles. And they were very, very instrumental in expanding this business far beyond the reaches that it had achieved in generations past.
I loved advertising. I loved the business of telling the people what we had. I used to say that there's no sense buying a machine unless you tell the world that you own it.
They used mail and they traveled the world in order to get the name out. They made us a worldwide leader in the supply of machinery.
John, Jim, and myself are our 4th generation members of the company.
And I was very glad to see them take over.
Fortunately, we had the advantage of working with the 3rd generation when they were in their prime and we were just coming into our prime. We were able to learn the business through their eyes, through their teachings, through their taking us to different plants, learning the business, you know, from the inside out. John is an engineer by trade, and he worked very, very closely with my father, who ran the rebuilding operations. My cousin Andy focuses mostly on the pharmaceutical and the packaging industries and spends a great deal of his time overseeing our Mexican operation. And I handle the international sales for the confectionery, baking, and nutraceutical and nutritional divisions.
All 3 of them have been here well over 20 years. So, I mean, they know everything about the business.
We maintain a business relationship with other equipment dealers and suppliers as well as manufacturers. And many of the customers that we have all around the world have been with us for 1, 2, and even 3 generations of their family doing business now with ours. And I still am in contact with customers around the world that remember my grandfather and his generation and did business with them.
Union Standard Equipment and Union Confectionery Machinery is the world's largest supplier of reconditioned and new processing and packaging machinery. There are many reasons why Union should be your one-stop for all your machinery needs. We have more than 25,000 machines in stock located in our 4 convenient locations: New York City, Mexico City, Chicago, and Phoenix. Our prices are the best in the industry and a fraction of that which you would pay for new. We offer engineering assistance and can offer machines reconditioned and set to manufacture or package your product. We sell worldwide. We can arrange for a truck to carry your machine across town or a boat to transport it halfway around the world. We offer crating and will prepare all the necessary export documentation. Union serves the following industries: confectionery, food, pharmaceutical, health and beauty, nutraceutical, chemical, bakery, snack food, coffee, tea and spice, personal products, dairy, contract packaging, and dozens of allied industries. Union offers a number of services. With our unmatched knowledge of the industry and our database of more than 100,000 qualified buyers, we can tailor an auction or liquidation to meet your goals. Whether you require valuation work for insurance purposes, asset-based lending, or it's for internal use, Union is your best option for a confidential and accurate appraisal. We can provide you with auction, orderly liquidation, or in-place values. Send us your worn or idle equipment, and our expert mechanics, electricians, and engineers will rebuild your machines to your specification. Avoid cash outlays, preserve assets, and protect your credit resources by leasing or financing through Union. Need a machine quickly? Not sure if a product is going to sell and thus don't want to make a big investment in equipment? Or simply don't want to pay a lot? Union's rental program is ideal. Sell us your surplus equipment, whether you have a single machine, entire line, or complete plant. Turn your idle assets into cash.
All the rebuilding we do here. Most machines we can get into the inside, especially if you're doing a top to bottom rebuild. It's very easy to get in and clean and paint the frame, all the subcomponents, and when you put it together, it looks like a new machine being assembled. We do strive hard to make the machines look good upon arrival, but most importantly, make sure the machines work and work well and work for a long time.
Every piece of machinery that we rebuild is warranted. And the tagline for the company years ago, and you can see it in our old logos, is that a used piece of machinery is only good as the entity from which it came. And we've always stood behind every piece of equipment that we rebuild.
When a customer calls up and says they have an old-fashioned family recipe to make caramel, back from their great-grandmother, and they've been hand wrapping it for 20 years and the business is taking off and they're looking for a wrapping machine. So the first thing we'll want to find out is how automated do they want the machine to be and how fast do they want.
We brought the machine down to the shop floor. At that point, we took the machine apart.
They usually require a full top-to-bottom rebuild. The process involves tearing the machine down to the basic frame, evaluating all the parts, buying new parts where they're required, repairing some parts, fabricating some parts here. The machine gets cleaned and painted on the bare frame, and then all the new parts and good used parts get put back on the machine. We usually install a new electrical panel. In the case of a twist wrapper, we need to make new format parts for the shape of the caramel. When it's all done, we will test it here, and in most cases we insist on our customers coming to our location to inspect the machine running and to have a full day's worth of training.
What we take pride in is helping a company to start up and watching them grow as they become a small, medium, and then larger company.
Jim loved to start something. You need this, you need that. And I opened my first small chocolate manufacturer.
Jacques Torres is probably one of the finest chocolatiers in the country. At the time that he was moving to Manhattan, he had a very, very grandiose plan that he wanted to make his own chocolate as opposed to buying industrial chocolate from suppliers. And he wanted to start with the cocoa bean.
No many people know or are crazy enough to do bean to bar. I do that because I want to learn how to make my chocolate from scratch.
And he was working hand in hand in a partnership with M&M Mars in order to produce chocolate from the bean, and he bought all of his machinery from us.
All the machines have to be together. So that's where Union Standard is good, is to actually size the whole line together.
The Ultra Seal. Dennis Borello is the founder and owner. They founded the company back in the mid-60s.
We do contract packaging, contract manufacturing, and custom packaging. 4-sided seal, 3-sided seal, die-cut pouches, whatever the customer wants.
At the time, he couldn't afford to buy any new equipment, and he made, I believe, his first purchase either from my uncle or my grandfather.
They bought out a company in Pennsylvania. He called me up and says that he had a machine there. It was a Hasten. It made large pouches, like potato chip bag size. I still got it. They're all great guys, very helpful.
When I start my company, I know that I need to enrobe chocolates, put chocolates around whatever I put in the machine. So this is the tunnel that Jim find me. It's a Solic. Solic is so good. Do you have a Solic tempering and enrobing head? He refurbish it, I purchase it, I sell the other one because this is unbelievable. That machine, over 40 years, worked better than the new one that I buy from France.
Most of our customers will say that in many cases they prefer the older machines, especially process equipment.
I prefer to go old style because any one of my guys could fix it. And you know, if you're down, you don't make money.
I'm an artisan. I love mechanic. I love to see things work. I love to understand. And vintage machine, I understand them. Those new machines with computer, they are tough. It's tougher for me.
Clearly, when you're refurbishing machinery and reselling it, You are the ultimate when it comes to keeping green and trying to recycle. And so we're really proud that we're doing something that's not only beneficial to our customers, but also to the environment.
In order for a fifth generation to succeed, they're going to have to gather the same knowledge that we do. And it takes a tremendous amount of effort, especially the first 5 years of your business life here at Union. They have to travel, they have to meet the customers, they have to go to the technical and production conferences, and they have to go to factories because they have to garner a knowledge that no one's going to teach you in school or from a book. You have to learn it all on site.
Reinstill in them the fact that honesty and integrity are the two most important principles.
Once the knowledge is gathered, they will have felt the same feeling that we have for generation after generation, that it's a labor of love, because you can't do this business if you're not passionate about it.